welcome back to the Final Fantasy Tactics All Oracles Challenge, being recorded in January 2022. Today we are heading to Grog Hill, where we fight some of the deserters from the war who are debating what to do with running into us until they see that we are indeed Ramza the Heretic and his friends. They decide to exchange us in exchange for forgiveness for desertion. That's their plan. We're going to speed through the text here pretty quickly, but that's the gist. These are commoners who don't want to fight. They have left their post. They would be fugitives from the law in this world for desertion, and so they decide to trade this wanted heretic for forgiveness. So anyway, we've got a couple of squires, a couple of chemists, and we have an archer and a thief back there, a female thief. The female thief is not going to be able to steal heart on anybody because even though Ramza is a male, he's going to be immune to that as part of the named character immunity, I believe, is how that works. I've never seen Ramza get charmed away, so we are pretty safe from that. But the big threat up there is actually going to be those chemists and their long-range mithril guns. And we have a bit of a positional disadvantage again. I would have considered maybe doing the boots again in this battle. The boots could have been helpful in a longer fight like this, but just with all the arrows that we're going to be flying, and you can't really dodge the mithril guns, sadly. They're pretty much 100%. But I just thought with the physical attacks and the arrows flying, I would want to have some kind of evasion. So anyway, there's the Squire using Accumulate. I think he was just powering up his attack. I think we'll see that again here in a little while. That chemist not moving up to finding, maybe they couldn't get a line of sight to us within 8 tiles. They've got a really big advantage on that. So the archer too with the longbow. All right, so here I'm checking out everything. Basic skill, we've got the flame whip, the flame flail. And indeed, I was checking that they both do have mithril guns. I thought this one maybe didn't, because it's been a while since I played this one, because he didn't find a spot to shoot at us. Luckily, that silver bow, I think, is a couple of bows behind us in terms of equipment. And then there is a squire that has item. So item is going to be part of this battle. It's always going to be. Chemists are going to be throwing potions around, and they do have access to X potions. So that's going to be a problem as well, because X potion healing 150 health is going to be tough to overcome if they get a lot of those actions in. So I'm having Ramza here. He's going to try to stay out of the line of sight of the mithril guns. We're going to try to use this rock face to make it harder for the chemists to just keep plunking us, because they will just plunk you down all day long if they have the opportunity to. So we're going to be needing to recover quite a bit of life. Luckily, we've got life drain, and we also have Dorothy with the healing staff. So Dorothy, who just moved up there, does have the heal staff on that we took from Alma. So she can recover some hit points. Sadly, she can't use it on herself. So it's only on other characters that she can restore. And that's going to be important, I think, in a couple of battles coming up as well. Having a little bit of healing. It's not very strong. It's like 30 to 40 hit points. But just getting a little bit more to try to keep everybody on their feet is going to be really helpful. Just keeping everybody awake and in good health is going to be helpful here. So I'm looking at when sleep is going to go. The reason I'm using sleep there is because the thief is up half of a height, and paralyzed can't get any vertical tolerance. You have to be on the exact same height for paralyzed to hit. So sleep is going to actually target both of those characters. And I'm looking to make sure that life drain is going to go off before sleep does, because if someone gets life drained while they're sleeping, the HP damage will wake them up from sleep. But right now, I'm just trying to slow everybody down. There's no Mage League character, so I don't need to worry about bunching my guys up. The chemists are going to keep shooting. The archers are going to keep shooting. Hoping to get the squires down here, and we're going to use those squires as kind of an HP well. We're going to be just drawing hit points from those squires to survive the damage coming in from the chemists until we can draw the chemists down a little bit farther. The thief also is going to have to come down here and face off with us as well. So we're going to be needing to drain her in addition to draining these squires. So doing good so far. We've got 2 hits. That squire is now halfway to 0 hit points. And there's 3 hits, so 180 damage already in those 3 actions. And we'll see if Sleep can land on these 2 characters. As you can see why she targeted both. Missed on the Squire and landed on the Thief. So the Thief is going to be sleeping until the Thief can be awoken. So we have a regular potion being thrown. Interesting, they're not going for the X potion right here. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know why that choice is. I think we see X potions a little later in this fight. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think we do see X potions later on. He definitely had lost more than an X potion's worth of hit points, for sure. So here I'm trying to see, can I get up there and maybe paralyze those chemists? Can I get up there? And I'm just checking to see when am I going to go here, and when is paralyze going to pop off? Yeah, it's 9, and you can see it's a lot of turns are going to go by. That means we have a lot of enemies with pretty full CT, and so you can see that's why I believe she's looking up here to maybe go and attack that Squire, because she'd have 2 tiles to attack that Squire, so she may be able to just about take him out. And she's checking to see where Dorothy is, because Dorothy is our heal staff equipped character. And this is where knowing all of my Zodiac alignments off the top of my head would really help here, because I could accurately calculate how much damage she's going to do, knowing her Zodiac affiliation with that Squire. Because I could calculate the stick damage, and then I could see what the modifier would be. So it looks like she just moves up 1, and she's going to go for a little bit safer attack here. Maybe better, because if she went up there and was charging Paralyze, this is my thinking, so if she was charging Paralyze for 9 turns, then she would be standing there, and she could take a hit from the Squire, she could take hits from the Chemist, maybe a hit from the Archer, all with the charging bonus. She probably would have gone down if she had done that. So here comes an X potion, there we go. So I think that's why I made the decision to keep her back a little bit and do a shorter charging thing. That way she didn't just become a really juicy target for everybody. This throw stone is explicitly to wake up that Thief. So the game's AI decided we need our Thief awake, and so we're going to go ahead and throw a stone at her to wake her up. But I think the Thief missed at least 1 turn. Now her CT doesn't get reset to 0, which is unfortunate. So her CT will pick up where she left off when she went to sleep. But I'm sure she missed at least 1 action in our cycle, because Thieves are so fast. So now I'm moving a character up because Paralyze is a much shorter charge right now. So now I'm moving her up because I can have this spell charged and cast before any enemies get a turn. So that's the thinking right there. And that's what you kind of have to do with these challenge runs, is look at things like that. Look at, like, is my character going to be standing there charging to take a whole bunch of... These guys are all physical bruisers, so it's going to take a whole bunch of physical attacks while she's waiting to resolve her spell. So shields right here, looking to see where she can go. And see, you can see Paralyzed will only go on flat ground. So she can get the Thief, or she can get the 2 characters up there, the Archer and the Squire. And looks like she's got good compatibility there, and obviously good faith on both ends. So she's going to be 100% on the Thief. And yeah, Julia may be able to just go for life drain on the Thief here. Yep, and that Thief has great faith. That Thief must have really high faith that all this stuff is 100% on her. And that's okay. So again, we're using her as that reservoir because the mithril shots are going to keep coming. Now, not if we can land a couple of these don't acts. A couple of these paralyzes are going to really help us save some damage. Also, could help us get some characters, their enemy characters, on the ground if we can stop the X potions from flying around. So maybe we can get 1 or 2 of these characters on the ground. Here comes the charge shot, and it did hit, but defense up really helps there. So only doing 40. So that's a really nice help too, that these oracles just have this natural defense up ability. I don't know why they have it, but I'm glad that they do. It's really, really handy for us, really helpful. So I'm looking to see where everything lands. Life Drain is much faster, but sadly Ramza is not in range for any of that stuff. And so I don't know if there's really anything he can do, because he can charge as he's checking to see what the archer's name is, and if the archer will get a turn before Paralyzed goes off, and indeed he will. That's Voice, and that's why you see Ramza just wait. Okay, here comes Amy. Now Amy is another tile up, so she can target a life drain. She can target something directly that's going to follow him. But if you have to target something to a tile around the character, they can very easily move out of your spell. But if you could target it on the character, then they can't move out of your spell. The spell will go where they go. Of course, if you play the game, you know you can choose to do it on the unit or on the square. Sometimes it's the right move to do it on the square if you want the people around them. Okay, so Life Drain goes off and hits, so there's 57 hit points back. And now here comes the Squire right on down into the line of fire for us. There was a dash. I think they're using dash here because we have mantles on. And I guess they're calculating that they just don't want to do a physical attack with their mace that's got such a low chance to hit, because we have evasion with the mace, and I believe maces may have a less than perfect accuracy in this game. I can't remember how all of the accuracy values work for the weapons that I almost never use, but I think that's why, because dash is a 100% hit. So here is a heal staff attack. So she could have targeted an offensive attack on the enemies, but she goes a little bit defensive there with the heal staff. I do have the Goku rods. Goku rods have the best attack damage for right now. They actually have a bit of a drawback for us because they can apply the innocent status. And innocent status will make your faith go to 0. So enemy mages, it's great for them because their magic is almost completely nerfed because their faith is 0. So anything that has a chance to miss is going to miss. But it also means that any magic targeted on them is guaranteed to miss because of the way accuracy works. It's calculated based on the faith value of the caster and the faith value of the target. And if either one of those is 0, then the formula gets multiplied by 0. There's a 0 in the multiplication, so everything is 0. So you've got faith over 100, and then just like 0 over 100 is 0. So boom, on any part of that formula if you know your algebra. So Ramza can't quite get to that Squire. We got turns in a little bit funky order. If we had the other one get to attack first and then move out of the way, Ramza could have attacked, and then we had that. But as it was, Ramza has to target a life drain. Doesn't hit. That's okay. So there is a chemist with Don't Act. And if the other chemist gets an action, though, he's going to be able to bring this weak chemist back. So I'm really hoping that I can get that chemist down before that other one gets a turn to throw an X potion at him. And I moved Dorothy over there, forgetting that she was Dorothy, and I was going to have her deliver the finishing blow, but I forgot that she was Dorothy and that she had the heal staff. And so I cannot do a physical attack for the finish there, unfortunately. And now, because of that, Dorothy is in the way of another character moving in there to deliver the finishing blow, so I have to charge another life drain. So that's a I won't say a critical error, but an error for sure. It was a misplay, because Dorothy is standing now on the tile that the other Oracle could have moved over, even with only 3 move because of the mantles, could have moved over and hit him with a stick. Now we've got 2 low chance, or 50-something% chance life drains. And the first one misses. And, oh, this was targeted on the other guy anyway, and they both missed, so it doesn't really matter. All missing. And then now we've got enemies are being healed from Don't Act status, so they're going to start to become effective again. Here's another dash from the back, and I think that's, again, just because of the mantle. And so, look, here we go. Here's an X potion. So we could have had that guy down, and, you know, maybe a Phoenix down could have brought him back and would have been low health, but as it is, he's got nearly full health again. So, oh well, here we go. And now he's safely in the back ranks there. So that cost us definitely some time in this fight and some damage. So let's move on up here. And we've got to start, yeah, we've got to start doing stuff for these chemists. We got to get them down. So there's that chemist is in innocent status now. So that means that basically that chemist is untargetable for any of our magic. That chemist is untargetable. So It's a disadvantage, as I said before, because, like, I can't target a life drain on him now. You know, this Julia right here doesn't want to do a life drain on him. Also, Paralyze is not going to work on that Chemist. Now, she's reaching a sleep there. The sleep's not going to hit the Chemist, but it can hit that Squire back there. That's what I'm trying to do with the sleep spell. So it does good damage, but it basically makes them immune to our attack. So you'll see the sleep spell is going to miss because it had a 0% chance to land. And it does land, though, on the Squire. So sleep is more durable than Paralyze. Paralyze don't act is pretty short. So if you can do another status that is equally nerfing to don't act, you'll want to choose that. So, for example, for a mage character, if you can get them in silence, that's going to last longer than don't act. And if you can get sleep on somebody, that's going to last longer. Now, sleep can be healed or recovered from by an attack. You know, they can throw a stone or something. But without the other chemists, they can't really do a throw stone. So if they use an action to wake up that Squire, it's going to do more damage. It's going to cause more damage to him. And that's, you know, so that's obviously a good thing than throwing a stone. Throwing a stone's about the best thing you can do. So I'm looking to see where she can move, what she can do, because this is Dorothy again, so she can't move up to attack that Chemist. But she's looking to see where can she go to cast on somebody else. Or to heal one of our characters. So she's moving up so that she can get access to that other Oracle to heal her. And so I'm looking at the hit points of that Squire. We can get him from the side here with the Goku Rod. And nice job, look at that. He had a little evasion there, but good damage for him. And the Archer is also asleep now. There we go. So we have a Squire and an Archer both asleep. And I guess I will take these trades all day. If I can hit him for 120 and take 20 back in return, I guess I'll take that trade. So there's that Chemist. He's going to come over, but he's about 2 stick whacks away, maybe 1 good stick whack away. And the Thief misses. There we go. There's the Mantle guarding it, which is really solid. It's looking to see, should I, you know, can I move a couple tiles away and then get him? Looks like she's thinking about it. That would open up a line of attack for another character, not Dorothy, but it could open up another character's line of attack. Okay, so there's 100. He's already in innocent status, so no worries right there. So you can see right there, 0%. I had forgotten that he was innocent. But I can move next to him on the side here. I also could have probably hit him over the steps. It would have been a front attack, but I could have gone up next to that Thief and then swung over that gap. That would have been pretty funny. So Ramzo's going to come back here to lend an assist, it looks like, maybe. Or he's deciding between the Thief and that Squire. It looks like he is going to go for the Squire to get the Squire down. The Thief's not quite in one-shot range. There we go. So now we have the Chemist here. Chemist just going to go for the shot. That's okay. He's not going to wake up his other party members, and like I don't mind them. They are completely incapacitated. There's like nothing they can do. We're fine with those guys just as they are. And watch me. Let's see if I forget that Dorothy is Dorothy here. That Dorothy is not going to be able to move over with her stick. Yeah. There we go. So I'm doing better at remembering Dorothy is Dorothy. It is harder when all the units are identical looking. They're all exactly the same looking. Maybe it would have been... it would have behooved me to stick Agrius in my party and have Agrius just be an Oracle. That way I had at least one other Oracle who looked different. So that I could maybe give Agrius the heal staff. And I just always remember that. I'll probably use the heal staff for a good chunk of the game here. I don't know when it'll kind of become irrelevant or when I'll, you know, always want that offensive output with the sticks. But I'll tell you, it's nice to have a little bit of extra healing. And she's, even in this battle, she's healed, you know, 2 or 3 times maybe, times 40, so 120 hit points of healing. That's, you know, most of one character's HP pool. So this is cool here, another good use of the sticks, because he's got a Don't Act being charged right on him, but she can stand 1 tile away and be safe. or I should say 2 tiles away. So the area around him is safe. She got him with the stick, and then now we don't have to worry about multi-targeting enemies. So right here is a front attack for 75%. Ramza decides to go for it, and we get paid off. Our risk is paid off. And Ramza is going to start to work his way up towards the chemist. Here we go. So now that that chemist is in Donak status, and Dorothy again with the turn, but Dorothy can't move up to whack him because, of course, of the heal staff, so she's just going to go up, and she's going to life drain. Yeah, she's not going to try to heal because we're at pretty safe territory right now. The archer and the squire are basically going to sleep until we decide to wake them up. They can come out of sleep on their own, but it takes quite a while in these battles, so likely they will not wake up on their own unless we really take our time. If we stood around and waited for all those other characters to turn into crystals first, then maybe, but I don't think that would be the way to go. Especially for this one. It's unnecessary. If this was a riskier battle, maybe. If it was a riskier battle, maybe I would I would just keep casting sleep on them. I would have like two oracles up there just moving around and casting sleep, reapplying sleep, while these other guys turned to crystals, and I just collected all the loot and abilities and HP. Maybe, but not really necessary with these guys. So she's gonna wait up here. She doesn't really have to, as I will see later. She actually had enough to take out the archer with a hit, but she doesn't really need to wait here. But I think she decided to just get everybody up, because once you wake them up, they're going to get turns when they left off. That's something to remember, is their ATB counter stays where it was when they went to sleep. So right there, the squire is at 41 out of 100. So the squire basically just got an action. So he will, he'll take a little while to tick up. But I think the archer was at 90 or something, 90 or 95. So the archer, once we wake the archer up, the archer's going to get a turn probably next in line. And so we're being, I think, probably too safe, but that's okay. I did not want to mess anything up here in the final chapter of the battle. We get to showcase this kind of cool strategy to kind of gang up on everybody, get everybody ready to go. Start whacking. So here we go. The squire is awake, and let's see if Ramza can land the life drain to finish. He will. So boom, 1-2 right there, a 1-2 hit right there, and now she can go to. She's gonna look at life drain. So I think her better one is just to attack. But look at this. So she's gonna be 180. I should have just checked that before, because 180 is enough to take him out. So she had a really, really good solid hit there. So, anyway, that's it for Grog Hill. If you like these battles, feel free to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave me a comment, or hit me up on Twitter, where I'm also active_ATE. We will see you next time.